Hello, got a question, lesson 8, number 2. Had some questions about just clarification on what this will look like. So for number 2a, it says if the u and v vector are non-zero, all right, so that means that they're not dots, but they're a projection, but the projection of u onto v is 0, what conclusion can be drawn? So remember, a projection is like a shadow. So projection equals shadow. Let's keep it simple. So if you have two vectors, that is crazy spelling on shadow. Let's fix that up a little bit. So if I have two vectors oriented, u and v, and we're talking about the projection of one onto the other, it is the same as we take perpendicular to that base vector, and we go up, and we put a bright light bulb here. Well, I'm going to try a light bulb. There we go. Okay, light shines down. The shadow is the projection. Okay, I better label that because I don't know, most people wouldn't know what that is. So a light bulb. So that shadow is the projection that we're interested in. Shadow or projection. All right, so in this question it's saying, well, what happens if the projection is the zero vector? So first of all, a quick reminder, what's the zero vector look like? The zero vector looks like this. It is a dot. All right, that's how we'd represent it, a zero vector, graphically. So the only way that I could get a shadow of a dot, or a result of a dot, is if I take that u vector and the v vector is perpendicular. Because the resulting shadow, again, if you draw that light bulb, look at that, much better this time. So that light bulb shines down. The shadow is going to be just the dot, or the thickness of an infinitely thin line, which is technically nothing, but we call it a dot. So there we go. So that means, therefore, for A part, what's our conclusion? We know that u and v are perpendicular. Okay, that's the only way that shadow will work. Now B part says, if projection of u onto v is 0, does it mean that the projection of v onto u would be 0? Well, if we kind of flip that around, we're going to steal that exact same picture, and through the miracles of modern science, I'm going to clone it and move it down below so I can refer to it. There we go, one more time. All right, so now I'm going to move my light bulb over here. Look at that, pretty cool. Okay, now there's lights shining in that direction, going down the u vector, and tells me that it's also true. So B, yes, that would be true. You would still end up with a dot for a projection. All right, it all goes down to the orientation of those vectors. If they're perpendicular, that means the resulting shadow will be a dot or the zero vector. Hope that clears that up. If you have any questions, let me know.